It really happened. It really freaking happened. Let's just take a moment to say that it freaking happened. A direct that wasn't a game direct, that wasn't an indie direct. It happened. They shadow dropped it, they stealth boomed it, and voila, there it is. Jeff Grubb was right. I got to give him huge props for doubling, tripling, and quadrupling down. He owned it, and he earned the W because he was right. But I've heard through the grapevine and all over the internet that many of you are not too happy with what Nintendo announced and revealed, primarily because in terms of first-party fanfare, there was next to zilch. But I know what's going on, I know what they're gonna do, and I want to talk about why it happened this way and why it honestly may not be as bad as people are worrying. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. At the end of the day, I'm gonna be honest with you, a direct, given the current climate of any sort, makes me happy. It was not my favorite direct, it was not an A direct, it wasn't even probably a B direct, but it was something. It was a mini direct that they shadow dropped today to give us updates and pepper in the calendar with some new games. Now maybe you don't like any of the new games, maybe you're pissed off it's not a game you heard rumored or were hoping for, and I understand that. You are valid. It was not the typical direct filled with Nintendo's big hitters. They gave us a Xenoblade date, they gave us an update on Smash Bros. And a delay, and they gave us a little more info on the Pokemon passes, which aren't even coming for a while. So from a first-party standpoint, it was lackluster. And feel free to sound off in the comments down below. Please let me know what you thought of the Direct and what you think about my thoughts on how Nintendo moves forward from this. Hit that like button if you enjoy the video. I know it wasn't the show you wanted. I really get it. Before we get too specific, let's address the elephant in the room, or rather in the world. There is a pandemic going on. Did you see the title card at the top of Nintendo's presentation this morning? Due to all of this, there may be delays, there may be shifts, things may not occur and happen as planned. And then they sent their well wishes and prayers for everyone affected. I thought it was very important that they made that mention because it lets us know that Nintendo is also being affected. That they're doing their best to work around this, that they're doing their best to continue to put things out. And look, please give them credit. They didn't say, no, we're canceling, we're stopping. No Indie World, no mini direct stealth drop. They said, we're gonna keep the show going. The show must go on. And I respect that so much. It would be super easy to say, you know what, it is a crazy time. People are working from home. Maybe people aren't working at all. We've got a lot going on, but they didn't. They kept it going. And it wasn't the best show. But we know that maybe this show was better. Maybe this show had more. Maybe it was going to be a full direct, and in recent weeks, it's had to shift and adjust. Now, please note that this crisis has been affecting Asia for longer than it's been affecting America, so that could have factored in. And we know that Sakurai said a while ago that it was affecting Smash Bros. Fighter progression and production, and we see that now because the first fighter isn't coming till June, and we'll touch on the kerfluffle around that fighter in a little bit. But I don't know if this is supposed to be a bigger show. For all we know, this was Nintendo's plan all along. Indie World Mini Direct and then bigger Direct later. Quick pause on the Direct talk. I want to let you know that I opened a brand new Discord community for all of you called Switch Strong. And it's a wonderful place to hang out with me, ask me questions, learn about upcoming videos, and talk with a bunch of other super cool people in a positive, safe space to play Switch and hang out while things are going really wild in the outside world. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, a positive, safe place to talk and play Switch, hook up with others to play multiplayer, and learn more about SwitchForce, then I'll put a link in the description below. You can join the Discord. We're doing giveaways, donations to charities in need. It's going to be wonderful. Hopefully, I'll see you there. Maybe they have shifted strategies. So let's move into what they're going to do now. Please also remember that Nintendo has had shifts at the top of their heap for quite some time during the Switch lifecycle. I'm talking big departures. People like Reggie, people like the overall president. Furukawa is in, Bowser is in, and you know when Bowser's in, things might get a little messy. So maybe they've just shifted their strategy. Maybe they don't want to reveal their big fall game in March anymore. Rather than blow in their Smash Ultimate load and their Mario Odyssey load in March, maybe they want to save it for the big E3 Direct. Because remember, they didn't know E3 was going to be canceled. So perhaps the plan all along has been that the big first-party titles get announced at a later date. And I firmly believe that maybe Bowser and Furukawa and people in power at Nintendo said, hey, since E3 is going to be weird, let's reveal at E3 rather than showcase at E3. Because previously they have showcased after revealing. Well, now it makes a whole lot of sense to reveal because you can't showcase anything. No one's going to be there. And yes, they'll have press events, and yes, they'll send out copies. And now they have an opportunity to make a mark, not by saying, hey, come play our game that we announced 3 months ago. Oh, wait, you can't come. They can say, boom, Paper freaking Mario back to its roots. Boom, Breath of the Wild 2. You remember that game? It's adding dungeons. There's a new playable character. We're going bigger and better than ever before, but it starts off linear and you weave your way through Ganon's miasma, and then you make your way into the beautiful sequel version to one of the Switch's absolute gems, one of the franchise's absolute gems, maybe the top of the tower for this beloved series. I don't know what they'll reveal. Maybe they'll have a Metroid Prime 4 update. Maybe they'll give us Trilogy. I don't know, but you can bet your butt, and mine too, that Nintendo has games, and they're coming. They just weren't in this show. For all we know, there is a Direct waiting for us next month, or maybe in May. Look, you have to take into account what this mini Direct revealed. Games over the next couple of months, and games from third parties. Are you telling me you honestly believe Nintendo has nothing for the rest of the year besides Animal Crossing, which is already out, and Xenoblade Chronicles that we know is being worked on by a bunch of Monolith employees and is coming out in May? You really think they got nothing else? Be honest with yourself. I know you're disappointed. I know this Direct it didn't have the things that were rumored, but do you really think Nintendo goes the next 9 months with nothing? Really? Really? No, you don't. You know that this is one of the biggest, most effective, most efficient, most awesome gaming companies that has ever existed. Look at their library, look at their output. Whether or not you love every title on Switch, that's okay, but look how much they have dropped onto this system each and every year. And maybe given the pandemic and given how things are going to have to be adjusted, it is going to be a light year. That is totally possible. And I even expect it at this point. But I know Nintendo has more than Xenoblade Chronicles on May 29th. I know that they have more, and they're gonna get to it. I think maybe they decided that the March reveals just weren't for them anymore, and they wanted to wait until E3. Now, whether we get a Direct the exact same time as E3, or they could go a little earlier, they could go a little later, but at least the air is out of the balloon. That balloon was about to pop. We were 200 plus days with nothing, and now we know some pretty cool stuff. And whether it's for you or not, they did really bring the last 2 weeks a lot of indie support, a lot of third-party support, and they showed, hey, we do have stuff coming for you to play if you're not into Animal Crossing, if you have a Switch and want more, if you're looking for something to get during this crazy time, hey, we've got some cool games. And I don't know about you, but I think bringing Bioshock and Catherine and Bravely Default, I think that's cool. Bravely Default got a demo today, a couple games shadow dropped. 2K is bringing like their biggest franchises, and yes, they're old. We see Saints Row, Burnout Paradise Remastered, Bioshock Collection, XCOM 2, they're older games. But did you really think we were all of a sudden going to get Final Fantasy VII Remake or Resident Evil 3 Remake on Switch announced today? That just wasn't going to happen. So for them to bring popular properties and big ones that people have wanted, Bioshock's been a desire for a lot of people for a long time. And ever since Civ 6 was announced, people wanted XCOM on Switch. Same with Borderlands. And Bravely Default is a pretty big deal for RPG fans. I know that might be a niche game for a lot of you, but look, that's a pretty cool get. And the fact there's a demo today, Nintendo was doing work. They could have shut the doors and shuttered shop. They could have said, sorry, we can't. And maybe they should have, but they didn't. The show must go on, and they brought it. And look, the Nintendo show will go on, because I firmly believe that there will be another presentation between now and E3 that does reveal the goodies that you're after. It does give you the games that we all want. I still think Super Mario 3D World or Pikmin 3 are coming as the Wii U port. I still believe in the Paper Mario rumor, and I wouldn't be surprised to see if we did get a Mario Golf or a Metroid Prime Trilogy as well. Now, Breath of the Wild 2. That is a big wild card. In fact, there were some new rumors about the game from a pretty credible source, and it sounds sick. Like they're going back to more dungeons. It starts off a little bit linear. Ganon has miasma, the entire world, and you have to clear it out in order to access parts, so it starts small and then balloons in scope. I like the sound of that a lot. I don't know if we'll be playing that in 2020 or 2021. Perhaps it's still to be revealed. So have some patience, or perhaps it had to be shifted. We're gonna have to be really understanding and compassionate to everyone, including game developers, over the next couple of months and maybe the rest of the year. Things are not going to go as they were planned. They're not going to go according to plan. It's just the plain facts of the world right now. And maybe Zelda is supposed to still come. Maybe it's supposed to still come and then we'll get delayed. Maybe it was never supposed to come. I don't know. But the point is, I know everyone wanted it. And there's still a chance. Nintendo will have a big game this fall. Mark my words. Write it down. Seal the envelope and open it when December 1st rolls around. Something massive will have released for Switch. Trust me, they're not doing Animal Crossing, Xenoblade, and Pokemon expansions between now and 2021. They will not do that. We know that games like Bayonetta 3 and No More Heroes 3 are supposed to come, but we also know that Nintendo will not sit out from their properties. Those are their breadwinners. Look at what Animal Crossing did for the console. Do you really think Nintendo wants one game for this year? Come on, guys and girls. You know they're going to bring something. I don't know if it is Breath of the Wild 2, Mario Kart 9, maybe Paper Mario is their big game. Maybe they fleshed that thing out so fun and so fresh that they're ready to establish it as a tentpole title. Or maybe it's the August game. I don't know. Nintendo has May. They've got Xenoblade Chronicles in May and nothing after. And they will have stuff. Maybe they'll have to sit the summer out. Maybe things have been pushed back. They led with the pandemic alert to let you know that, hey, stuff is not going as we intended. And you're gonna have to be patient, but it's gonna come. Smash Bros. The Fighters Pass is gonna kick off in June. I'm so sad that that announcement wasn't more applauded. I think it's really cool that Nintendo is going back to their own well. They started off Fighters Pass 1 with third party and they've really just kept it that way. Maybe Fighters Pass 2 has a nice mix because we know Sakurai said he was working with a publisher on a fighter and that had to get adjusted due to circumstances. So maybe it's a mix. But look, ARMS, it's not everybody's game. It's not even a phenomenal game. It's nowhere near what Splatoon 2 is, but I firmly believe that Nintendo needs to support their new IP and reward the people working on that stuff so we get more new Nintendo IP. Because remember, not every new IP can be a global phenomenon like Splatoon, but if they don't try, we'll never get the next Splatoon. So I think it's admirable that ARMS is getting acknowledged and getting included into Smash Bros. And remember, at the end of the day, Super Smash Bros. Is the place to play your favorite Nintendo characters, both old and new. We've got a lot of old favorites, we got a lot of big third-party hitters, and it's nice to see that a brand spanking new Switch-only character is coming to Smash. Look how big of a deal it was when the Inklings came. And I know ARMS isn't anywhere near the level of Splatoon, but I still think it's cool. Who knows who the character is? They could play really well, they could have an awesome stage, maybe it'll be really nifty. I'm gonna predict it's either Twin Talon or Kid Cobra, but we'll wait and see. So look, Nintendo is doing their best, and this was not their best show, but I'm sure that they have more. And I think going forward, they will have another presentation without this looming countdown clock that says 180 days, 190 days, 200 days, 210 days. Now that resets, it eases the tension. And I'm sure a lot of you are hyped about playing BioShock, Borderlands, Bravely Default on your Switch, about playing Saints Row or Catherine Full Body, about playing Burnout Remastered, Trials of Mana, or even that new weird work office game that came out today. I'm sure some of you are stoked with what you got. And for everyone who isn't, it's coming, baby. It's coming. This is Nintendo. This is their system. It is selling like crazy. And when you have something selling so good, you do everything you can to capitalize. You do not sit it out. You do not rest on your laurels. You do not say, oh, we delivered a game, Animal Crossing. See you next year. That's not Nintendo's MO, and it's not what's going to happen. So I know this show kind of sucked for some of you, but I applaud them for going through with it. I know they have more, and it'll be interesting to see if we do get a direct between now and E3, or if they wait for that June big show. But I'm glad we got it. I'm glad we got third-party support and indie support. I wish Doom Eternal got a date too, guys and girls. I wish Outer Worlds was reconfirmed for a specific time frame. But things are weird, and maybe it's just not ready. We'll be ready, though. I'll be ready. I know you'll be ready. When Nintendo does drop it, it's going to raise the roof. It's going to be rewarding, and we're going to play the games when they come out this fall. There's going to be stuff. I promise you. So thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic day and enjoying yourselves. Stay safe out there. Wash your hands. Be good to yourself and others. And trust Nintendo a little bit. They haven't led us astray thus far. In fact, this generation has been one for the record books. So until next time, thanks so much, everybody. Have a fantastic freaking day. SwitchForce